Go for refuge and become enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, by my accumulations of progressive giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanye Juda Soge Chonam No Chanjo Bardo Dane Yapsu Che Tage Jinso Kebe Sonam Ola Benjira Sanye Dubara Jo Sanye Juda Soge Chonam No Chanjo Bardo Dane Yapsu Che Tage Jinso Kebe Sonam Ge Ola Benjira Sanye Dubara Jo Sanje Juda Soge Kyabsu Shi Dage Jinso Gibe Sonam Ye Dola Benjir Sanje Dubara Isho Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Datha Gato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Datha Gato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha Om Ye Hetum Tesham Datha Gato Hyavatat Tesham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vati Mahashramanaye Swaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well as taught by the great seer. Okay, we are on verse number 32, where when you talk about the emptiness, we need to remember the discrepancy between appearance and the reality. Let me say this once more. When we talk about emptiness, we need to remember what is known as discrepancy between the appearance and the reality. So, what is that? For example, let's say that just as in the interviews, we see somebody comes as so presentable, and then finally at the workplace, we see the person is totally incompetent. What do you discover? Discrepancy between the appearance and the reality. Okay, how many agree with Nidia presents? Okay, yes. So likewise, we see that all the things that we're encountering with, all the things that we meet with, unless you realize emptiness directly, till that point, whatever we see, there's always a discrepancy there, how things appear and what's the reality. Okay, just to check that is it true that whatever I'm seeing, there's a discrepancy of appearance and the reality. Pick up something to see what are you seeing, and look at it, and how does it appear to you? As objectively real or as subject real? As objectively real. And when do you see things objectively real? When is it? For how long? 1 hour or 2 hours? The teaching is for, this session is for 1 hour. For 1 hour to existence or what? Or just for the retreat time?
All the time.
Or when you're having the cheesecake? When do you see things objectively real? When? Tell me, when?
All the time.
All the time. Always. Or then days, nights, in the dreams also. When you're enjoying, when you're fighting, when you're unhappy, when you're sad, 24/7 we have the perception of objective reality. This is appearance, and the reality is empty of objective reality. So it appears objectively real, but the reality is not true. So the appearance, it appears something as a flower. Oh, as a nice person with the, Facebook, Instagram, so forth, with the filtered photograph. Oh, it looks so nice. This appearance. On reality is very different. So with any object that we encounter, you encounter with, that I encounter with, there's always a discrepancy between appearance and the reality. So, what does it mean by illusion? Anyone? What does it mean by illusion? Or to give them a metaphor example, everything, nothing exists truly, everything's like illusion, everything's like dream, everything's like cloud, everything's like the what? The what is that? That's one word, huh? Torpedo, water bubble, lightning, film lamp, visual aberration. Okay, let's say aberration. What is aberration? What is aberration? Hey, professor.
Out of the blue, or like an aberration.
Okay, aberration. Good. And okay. So, what do you understand by understand illusion? What's the difference between the illusory flower and the real flower? What's the difference? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, Bhavani.
One is there and the other one is not.
So, when the flower is not there, the illusory flower is not there. What do you mean by illusory flower or illusion?
How it appears is not how it is.
Okay, listen to what Bhavan has said. You're getting illusion is it appears as something, but the reality is different. You're getting it? So it appears as an elephant, you go there, there's no elephant. It appears as water, you go there, there's no water. This is known as illusion. You're getting it? So the Buddha taught that there's the same, in other words, what Bhavan is saying is that illusion means where there's a discrepancy between the appearance and reality. How many agree with Bhavani resents? Illusion means where there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality. If this is meaning of illusion, everything is like illusion. Because everything is the discrepancy between appearance and reality. So therefore the Buddha taught everything is like illusion. You getting it? This is very powerful. Okay, good. So now including the mind. Chitta Matra says, mind is not illusion, mind is real, mind is truly existent. Now, the Nagarjuna says even the mind is like illusion. Even the mind, there's a discrepancy between the... Hey, Chinzam. There's a discrepancy between...
Appearance and the reality.
How many agree with Chinzam La? Whatever appears to you, there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality. You getting it? Appearance and reality. Even the mind also has a discrepancy between appearance and reality. How the mind appears to you and how the mind truly exists is very different. Okay, let us see how there's a discrepancy with the mind. So, how many of you once in a while you said that I'm very happy today, resents? And at times you shed tears. I'm very sad today. I'm very unhappy today, resents. Swamchita, the Venerable Swamchita. Once in a while you say, I'm sad today. Yes? Good. Okay. So we shed tears. Say, I'm very sad today. You getting it? I'm very sad today. Okay. I am. The girl there, your name? Kazi. Kacha. Okay. And Sasha. Where? Okay. I am the girl there. I am where? Where? Re. Sasha. Re. An. Dasana an. Hai. P. Hey, Aruna, P. I am where, hey, where, re, an, have. Yeah, Aruna is not saying too loudly. Louder. Okay, let's say. Now, when you say, I'm very unhappy today, I'm very unhappy. When you say, I'm very unhappy, who sings? Your body sings, your mind sings? Mind is singing. Now, let's see how the mind, there's a discrepancy, how the mind is like illusion, how the mind is a discrepancy between the appearance and the reality. It appears one thing, reality is very different, right? Okay, let's say, what you do is that in the daytime is hot or not hot? It's hot. Okay, how many think it's hot in the daytime? In the daytime it's hot. Okay, so for Delhi people it's not hot. It's very pleasant. Yes. Okay, so let's say that we are working so hard under scorching sun for 3 hours, preparing for soul offering day after tomorrow, right? And Ajikesana Chola Tema organizing, right? And then no tea, no juice, no water, and thirsty. So yeah, you say, hey Chola, nothing to drink, right? Nothing to drink. And suddenly you remember that there is a door there. Suddenly you remember that there's a door there. From inside the door, you can hear this sound, which means somebody is there. Yes, somebody is there. Not only us, there's somebody also working there. And then you knock at the door. How are you doing? What did you hear? Somebody said, I am very unhappy. Then you feel so sorry, right? You feel so sorry. Oh, it's not only us who are hungry, thirsty. There's somebody inside this room also who's unhappy. Okay, then you open the door and you see these 7 people. You see the 7 people. You ask, oh Anka, I'm very sorry you are unhappy. You say, no, who said I'm unhappy? I just said I. Oh, then your name? Your name? Kaja. So Kaja said, oh Kaja, you must be the one who's very unhappy, I'm very sorry. No, I said am. And then the girl there, Maria said, where? Who said I'm unhappy? I'm very happy. I said just where? And Sasha? Re. Dasana? On. Right. And you must be who said? Who said hey? And then, oh, finally you are the one. I'm very sorry. So they are happy. You are the one who's unhappy. So Aruna, you are unhappy, right? You're not happy. You're not unhappy. What did you say? I said just be. Be. Who said I'm unhappy? I just said be, right? Then you're confused. You're confused. When I knocked the door, I asked, how are you? Said this. Undeniably, somebody said, I am very unhappy. But inside, nobody said it. Am I hallucinating? I'm schizophrenic? Am I having a schizophrenia? Or am I hallucinating? And then you go to bring you can bring Cholatendala. You said yes, you're hallucinating, right? So you go and ask Cholasibella. Where's Cholasibella? Cholasibella, raise your hand higher. So you ask Cholasibella, right? Because Cholasibella is more serious, Cholatendala will make people laugh. Right, with broad voice. Oh, okay, so you go to ask Cholasibella, please come. Am I hallucinating? Please come. Right? So Cholasibella is your witness. And you bring Cholasibella with you and you knock at the door. How are you?
I am.
Bear is busy talking to little girl. Bear is busy talking to little girl. Okay. How are you?
I am very
Very
Chalastipan, am I hallucinating? Did you hear? What did you hear? I'm very unhappy. You heard it, right? I'm not hallucinating. I'm not hallucinating. No, 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 you're not hallucinating. Right? So then we together get in and ask, hey, Anga, you must be very unhappy. Sorry. No, I just said I. Then again, am. And then maybe Dasana, you are unhappy. You said? An. Then Sasha, you said? Re. And then Jinchandra? Hey. And then the Maria? Where? Right? She even forgot what she said. Right? Okay. Then maybe finally, so Aruna said, P. I said, P. So what? So look, we undeniably heard somebody saying, I am very unhappy. But when you go to its object, from distance, you stumble from distance. Conventional analysis, you heard somebody said, I am very unhappy. Ultimate analysis, you go to object, nobody said, I'm very unhappy. You getting it? So nobody said it. Then, how come that I undeniably heard somebody said, I am unhappy? You getting it? Okay. So maybe this group may be louder, this group is little, the low voice, low volume. So I, hey, Anla. I, right? Am, very, on, hair, and till P. P. Okay. So now look, this group, what did you hear? How are you? What did you hear? Hey group. I'm very unhappy. You getting it? You go in, you just see 7 people. Nobody said, I am very unhappy. But you undeniably heard somebody said, I am very unhappy. You getting it? Okay. Your name? Julia, I. And the lady here? M. I am. No, Julia's I, U, M. Then, where? So, re, and lucky, an, Pema, ha, and the lady there, P. Okay, how are you? Hey, group separated here. I'm very unhappy. You undeniably heard it, but when you go one by one, nobody said it. So, what is that? Conventional analysis, you heard somebody said, I'm very unhappy. Ultimate analysis, nobody said, I'm unhappy. You getting it? Ultimate analysis, this did not exist. Conventional analysis, yes, it exists. Somebody said, I'm unhappy. Now, when you think, I am very unhappy, when you think, how many of you thought, I am very unhappy once upon a time? We all thought it. When you thought about it, you see it as objectively real. I am very unhappy. You're getting it? So, what is it? It's actually 7 moments of your mind. 7 moments of mind. First moment of mind. First moment is mindset I. Second moment is mindset M. And first moment is gone. Remaining moments are yet to come. Third moment is said where. And the first 2 moments are gone. And the remaining yet to come. And finally, the last moment said P. And the early moments are gone. So no one moment of the mind said, I am very unhappy. But then you undeniably felt, I'm very unhappy because conventional analysis sees this as a mind feels I'm very unhappy. Ultimate analysis, there is no mind which felt I'm very unhappy. You getting it? But you see them as objectively real. This is illusion. So the mind, there's a discrepancy between appearance and reality because it appears as the mind which thinks I am very unhappy. In reality, objectively, you go, there's no one moment which said, I'm very unhappy. There's a discrepancy between appearance and reality. So because that discrepancy appearance and reality is known as illusion-like. So the mind is also illusion-like. You're getting it? Okay, good. So we'll read the text. Okay, 32. Verse number 32, page number 154, verse number 32. Whatever it is meaning the reality. Whatever is the reality does not appear to a mind. And whatever that appears, what appears does not exist in the reality. So do you see the appearance, the discrepancy? Whatever it is not what it appears as. What it appears, it does not exist as it is. So therefore, there's a discrepancy. So therefore, if the consciousness of the mind is also devoid of selfhood, selfhood meaning the objective reality, objective intent, the essence. Yet consciousness has no other basis. The consciousness, objectively, there's no basis to say that there's a consciousness there. Consciousness is simply like illusion. Okay, next. And we see that consciousness is so alive, has some so independent thinking, but it's so dependent. It appears as so independent thinking, but objectively there's no independent thinking. For example, by being close to a lodestone meaning magnet, a lodestone, an iron object swiftly moves. When you say iron objects are there, and then you put the magnet, the iron objects move. You're getting it. It's also like the lodestone is calling them, come. Telling the iron filings, come, and iron filings, they come. Is it like this? Lodestone is telling the iron stone, come. There's a mind in the lodestone telling the iron filings, and the iron filings have the mind to say, oh, we'll follow you. Or it is a natural process. There's no mind involved. So, being close to the lodestone, an iron object still moves forward. It possesses no mind of its own. The lodestone does not have mind to pull, and the iron filings do not have mind to follow. But it happens in the form of dependent origination. Yet it appears as if it does. When you look at small children may think that, for example, say, from the bottom you put the magnet and on the surface some iron filings are thrown, and you bring a small child and say, look at this, right? And you move the magnet down there, iron filings, I'll show you magic, right? These are tiny insects. These are not tiny insects, and they will move. And then you move the magnet, they move, and small child thinks that these are really tiny insects. There's a mind there. There's no mind. Yet it appears as if it does possess the mind. 34. Now this is very important concept. Foundational consciousness. Foundational consciousness in Sanskrit it is Aliya Vijnana. Aliya Vijnana, and Tibetan it is known as Kunshi. Aliya Vijnana. Aliya Vijnana, and in Tibetan Kunshi. So this concept is very important. And we have to know this concept. But although this concept is not accepted by Prasangika, but there are many aspects of this concept which the Prasangika also has to accept. But the Adivijnana concept per se, or the foundational consciousness, and some people translate it as repository consciousness. If possible, write all these optional translations. Repository consciousness, foundational consciousness, repository consciousness, Adivijnana, Kunshi. So what is this concept? This concept is very important to note this. Say, if somebody were to ask you, who are you? You say, I'm Dorji. Or let's say, the Honorable. Yes, Nula. Yes. Say, Honorable. Or let's say that I am Branislav. What is Branislav? So, those people who accept objective existence. Tell me, among the four schools, which are the schools which accept objective existence? Raise your hand. What is this? No one raising hand, and then the yes here.
Vaibhashika and Sautantrika.
Vaibhashika and Sautrantika. Chitamatra also. Yes, okay, this is known as growing, you're getting it? So, Sautrantika Vaibhashika, they're correct, not correct? Correct, but it's not complete. Then, Nidya added Chitamatra. Then, Prince of finally brought the complete exhaustion, got the complete, brought to completion, added Svatantrika Madhyamaka. So, except for Prasangika, to make it easy, except for Prasangika, all the Buddhist schools accept objective existence. Except for Prasangika, all the Buddhist schools. Who are these schools? Vaibhashika, Sautrantika, Chidmatra, and Savatantrika Madhyamaka. These accept objective existence. Now, when you accept objective existence, you should be able to identify objectively that this is a self. So when they are asked, where is the self? Where is the self? Where is Dorji? Then they said this school, this Chitamatra school, particularly within Chitamatra, there's one school which follows the scriptures. Scripture following Chitamatrans. So they say that, there is actually the real self, the physical is not the self. Self is there's something inside. Something inside among your mind. Among your minds, there is one particular mind which is yourself. Not all the minds are yourself. There's one mind which is yourself. This is very much like the non-Buddhist acceptance of Atma, the concept of the soul, except in Judaism, Christianity, Islam, or many of the classical Indian traditions, for example, like Mimamsaka, Vaisheshik, Jainism, Vedanta, Samkhya. So it's very much like that. The Alivijnana. There's a mind there, not all minds. There's one particular mind known as Alivijnana or the foundation consciousness. That is you. So when we die, you leave them behind the body, and all these sense consciousness will dissolve. What is left? Only Alaya Vijnana or the foundation consciousness. This will move from one life to the next life. This will move. Okay, so that is the self. This is you. Alivijnana, that is you. This is very similar to the concept accepted by the many other traditions. So now the Nagarjuna is saying that this is not true, because to say that this Alivijnana is the self, they think that Alivijnana exists as truly, exists as objectively. Now Arya Nagarjuna is rejecting that there's no true existence, there's no objective existence mind, there's no any mind, including Alivijnana. No such mind exists as truly. How? 34. Okay, let me explain this more. From this, we get many other information which are very important. So when we die, what happens is that, so this is precisely according to school. Scripture following Chitamatra, very precise, thank you. Okay, so according to this school, they accept this Alivijnana, saying that everything, whatever you see around, whatever you're experiencing, that nothing but the nature of this Alivijnana. The example they give is very beautiful. Let's say the ocean. How many have seen the ocean? Extremely serene ocean, presents? Serene oceans. Okay. How many have never seen oceans? How many of you have never seen ocean? I've never seen ocean. Okay. So there in this life you must see ocean. Jimala? Huh? Did your father take you to ocean? Your mother? Where's your mom? Not here. Okay. So just imagine that the metaphor given is like the ocean. Ocean is a massive object, so pervasive, and say and what happens sometimes sometimes, or do the what is it? Tide, high tide, low tide. High tide, what happens? Okay, the water comes on the shore. When? High tide, low tide? High tide. Okay, I trust you. Because here there are only 2 or 3 people doing physics. And who are the ones doing physics? Chisila and who else? Only one. Chiratindra, no, not physics. Chiratindra, not physics. Okay, they're here. Kendra, no? I thought you were physics. Okay, interesting. There's only one physics. Hey, no. Okay, one physics. Okay, and then one in tech. Okay, Chiratindra and tech. And Chigila, discrete. Choosing physics. Okay, so how can I trust others? But anyway, don't worry, there are certain gold medalists. One gold medalist here, Ajikasana, one gold medalist there, Islam. There's another gold medalist with the Suram Bomo senior in the other room. Huh? In the other room, yes. Okay, these gold medalists are there, so I trust them. But there's somebody who's a gold medalist, never gold coming on surface. Inside this gold medalist is a girl. Raise hand. Hey, raise hand. Yes. Her gold medalist never comes out. Right? Easy going. Easy going. There's a gold there. Okay. So what I'm saying is that, because the high tide, low tide, the ocean, vast ocean, and sometimes you see waves, very ferocious waves created on the ocean. Yes. Hey.
Yes.
Brothers, you do not see ocean. Ocean and waves on the ocean. Yes. Okay. So look, ocean, however ferocious waves are created on the surface of the ocean. Waves are created where? Generally speaking, created on the surface or inside? On the surface. Sometimes tsunami from inside, once in a while. Otherwise, generally speaking, ocean, however ferocious the waves are formed on the surface, inside is very deep, serene, and placid. This is Alivijnana. This is your consciousness. This is your Alivijnana. It's so serene inside. On the surface, waves are created. Generally speaking, waves are created because of the tempest. Because of tempest, waves are created. What will happen when the tempest subsides? What happens when the tempest, the wind subsides? What happens to the wave? The waves go back to the ocean. You getting? Waves, are they the ocean or not? That's amazing. This is a very strange group. Waves are ocean. You take the wave, you do water from the wave. I've been bringing ocean. There's not ocean. Strange. Waves are the ocean or not? Waves are not part of the ocean. They're not ocean. Your hands are not you. Your hands are part of you. You getting it? So never say the waves are ocean. People say, where did you learn from? And you will say, probably you will say, I learned from Geshe Dorji Damdul. Where? In the Ngari Institute. You will probably say this. You're getting it? Don't say this. Okay. So waves are created. Waves are created without not the ocean. And then what happens when the tempest, the wind subsides? The waves go back to the source. What's the source? Ocean. Go back to the ocean. This is amazing. You getting it? Say we are born in the mother's womb. We are born in mother's womb, and the karma to throw us into the new life. That karma, the wind of the karma blows. It blows, and in the mother's womb, the waves are created. Your Alivijnana is trapped in the mother's womb, and the waves are created. And the waves are not the ocean. And the different waves are created. Different waves, different shapes, and the sizes are created. And these waves, what are these waves? What is these waves a metaphor for what? So these waves are from the Alivijnana. The wind of the karma blows, and the Alivijnana on the surface is disturbed, and the ocean of Alivijnana on the surface, The surface waves are created. Waves are created in the form of eyes, sense consciousness, and the visual objects. Waves are created, waves of the ear sense consciousness and the sound. All the sound, they're all nothing really out there. They're all the waves created out of Alivijnana. And you think that there's a visual object there. You think there's a sound there. These are all the part of the illusion. They're all part of the wave on the Alivijnana. So what happens is that then the wind continues to blow. Wind continues to blow, and then your consciousnesses, along with the respective objects, 6 consciousnesses and the 6 objects, they continue to, even though objects that you encounter with, they're also the part of your wave, the wave of this Alivijnana. So when you die, what happens? When you die, the wind of this karma stops. The wind to project this life, the wind subsides. When the wind subsides, what happens to waves? Waves ocean, what happens? The waves all go back to the ocean. Likewise, when the wind of karma stops, all the waves, like the 6 consciousnesses and the respective objects, visual, whatever you are seeing, sound, smell, taste, touch, and all the memories, they all go back to the Alivijnana. You're getting it? Alivijnana. Then the wind subsides fully, then the Alivijnana becomes perfectly still, a very still, silent ocean. Then what happens? The next wind blows. The next wind for the next life blows. Again, you are ejected from this body, and then you connect. The moment you connect to the next mother's womb, again the next wind already starts to blow. Again, this Alivijnana will go into the waves to create the waves. Wave of 6 consciousnesses and the 6 objects. You getting it? And then again you come all this. This is so. Say in the past, for example, say at the moment you are in the wave form or what? Alivijnana is there. And what are you seeing? This is all the part of your own the part of your own Alivijnana. These are the waves. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you contacting? This is all the waves of your Alivijnana. You're getting it? So meanwhile, what happens is that when you're being nice to other people, imprints of pleasant wind, karmic wind is being created. You're getting it? Imprints are created. These are not yet the wind. So these, and when you've been nasty to your mother, right? Hey, look, mother serves you tea. Mother serves you tea. My daughter will have a cup of tea. What tea? No coffee, no latte, no cappuccino. Where is cappuccino, right? Only tea. You're getting it? Okay, so there what is happening? You are creating imprints of the negative karmas, which will blow your Alivijnana into a very ferocious waves of disturbance in the future. That is the suffering of suffering. You're preparing, you're creating causes for suffering in the future lifetimes. You're getting it? So therefore, any form of anger, agitation, jealousy, or any form of 10 non-virtues that we engage in, we're actually creating the seed of the new waves of karma for us to create very ferocious waves. Ferocious waves means fear, tigers pouncing on you, being drowned, and the cancer, and so forth. All this, and then the conflicts in the family, fights, and all these things are the ferocious waves created by your own karma, the ferocious waves of the wind, which you created earlier because of your negative karmas. In the process, while the waves created, you're creating new karmas to create new waves in the future to suffer us more. And how many of you have the experience of being trapped in a huge wave and you think that you're going to die? Anyone? Okay, yes, some of them. Okay. And when I was in Israel many years ago, they took me to one place where it's so well protected. it is just at the ocean, the shore of the ocean, and it was so well protected that you just step down and the ocean is just right next to you. And there's all the railings are there, and they give you warning: don't go beyond this point, because the ocean became too strong. It can suck you up into the ocean. Nobody can save you. So these are what we go through. The unbearable pains that we go through. These are the effects of the waves of the karma which we created by being not nice to people who are so kind to you, or otherwise somebody else, bullying others, judgment of others, and all these things, So we should be very careful. This is known as alivijnana. Okay, so we read the text 34, the verse number 34. Likewise, the foundational consciousness too appears to be real, as truly real as Chidamatra would say, though it is false. Though it is false meaning, though it does not exist truly, objectively. In this way, it moves, in this way meaning subjectively. Not objectively, but subjectively, this alivijnana moves from one life to the next life to the next life, moves to and from and retains the three realms of existence. So sometimes in desire realms, sometimes you go to the form realm, sometimes you go to the formless realm, again come back. This is what the alivijnana does. But this is happening on the subjective level, not on the true or objective level. So 35. Just as the ocean and the trees move about, for example, say the trees move, and the pitcher plants. How many of you know of the pitcher plants? You all should have known pitcher plants. Okay, Padma, what is pitcher plant?
Insectivorous plant.
Mike.
Insectivorous plants.
What is that like? It's like butterfly?
No.
Then?
They have like a flap which acts as a mouth, so they trap insects inside.
Okay, there's like a pitcher-like structure,
Yeah.
and there's a flap up there, like a lid. When the insect gets in, it closes, and inside is slippery, so the insect cannot get up. It slips down. This is pitcher plant. So the pitcher plant, does it have life? Does it have life? This question. Hey, anyone? Pitcher plant, does it have life? What do you think? Churula, yes. What do you think? Yes, no. Okay, this is one question which who asked me. I think in the school in Arunachal, school children, when I was giving talk to the school children in Arunachal, this question was asked whether or not the plants have life. Okay, this can be one question which here the trees they move, pitcher plants they move, and the touch me not. Touch me not. What is touch me not? Some grass vegetation. You touch it, instantly it shrink. Okay, touch me not. So these we see them as in the sunflower facing the north, no, facing the west, and sun rises, it turns to the east. Okay, so do they have life? This question. So this is a very serious question. So what we can say is that they have life. They are living things. They have life, therefore they are living. They are living things, but they are not living beings. You're getting it? They are living things. They are not living beings. So what is a living thing? An object which can reproduce on its own. Which can cook its own food. Photosynthesis. Cook its own food, reproduce itself, it gives rise to another seed, and seed gives rise to another vegetation, again gives rise to seed, vegetation, which can reproduce itself and which can cook its own food. That is living thing. But they are not living beings. They are not living beings. They are living things. You're getting it? Okay, this is one thing that we need to keep. Living beings have a mind. Living things don't have mind, but they have the capacity to reproduce itself. They have the capacity to cook their own food. Okay, so It says that 35. Just as ocean and the trees move about with the waves and the trees moving, fisher plants, trapping the insects and so forth, move about though they possess no mind. Likewise, foundational consciousness too moves about in dependence upon the body. So we have the body and the body and mind, and the mind operates by dependence on the body, and body operates by dependence on the mind. These two are mutually dependent. There's no mind which is independent. You're getting it? There's no other vijnana which is independent. Everything is dependent on each other. Therefore, there's no truly existing object. 36. So, if it is considered that without the body there is no consciousness, if the body and the mind, consciousness two are interdependent, you must explain what this awareness is. What this awareness that you are talking about, this awareness which is truly existent, which is understood, which is cognized by the self-cognizant. You must explain what this awareness or the mind is. Awareness here is the mind. You must explain what this awareness is. That's the object of one's own specific knowledge, meaning the object of one's self-cognizant mind. So, these are the serious questions. Okay, let me check. Let me ask you these questions, and if you can give the answer. If you cannot give the answer, and you feel a little disturbed or uneasiness comes, this means that you are thinking. Okay, my question to you. What is my hand? Okay, louder. How do you know there's a flower in my hand? We can see it with my eye consciousness. Okay, now not only that you say the flower exists, in a way you are saying that you also have the eye consciousness seeing it. Yes. How do you know that you have the eye consciousness seeing it? How do you know that you have the eye consciousness seeing it? You're so confident, I can see it. Which means you have the eye consciousness seeing it. How do you know that you have the eye consciousness seeing it? Huh? And the Abhinash?
Mind consciousness.
Okay, so look. So the flower is seen by eye consciousness. How do you know that you have the eye consciousness? Mind consciousness seeing them. How do you know that you have mind consciousness? Anyone? No one? Hey, yes.
Only just by saying that if I don't have eye consciousness, I'm not able to see it. From the contradiction of it.
Say it again.
So my answer is I don't know that I have eye consciousness, but if I do not have the eye consciousness, then how am I seeing it? What is this experience then?
This is my question. So, how do you know that there's a flower in my hand? This is my question. This is what you have to. This is basic premise. Don't use this as a premise to establish something else. You're getting it? This is what you have to prove. How do you know that the flower? I can see that. So you use your eye consciousness as a reason to say that there's a flower there. My question to you is, how do you know that you have the eye consciousness in the flower? How do you know that? Which habit? Where is this habit? At the top of it? At the feet or where? Where? Is somebody here? Is somebody here? Where is this habit? What is this habit? Is it human or non-human? Okay, a little uneasy, right? Okay, over there.
This is work mental factor discrimination.
Which discrimination? Eye sense discrimination or mental? Eye sense discrimination.
Yes.
So eye sense discrimination knows itself.
Maybe they're together.
So who knows the eye sense discrimination? Okay, look. Yeah, Ashikisana.
Can you repeat the question?
In a way, this is saying, I don't know. Right, you're right, I don't know.
You
Okay.
don't need a mind that knows that you have the eye consciousness.
Of course. Otherwise, how do you know that?
Because of dependency.
No. Do you have eye consciousness not?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Say, tell me, I forgot what I ate last night. Tell me, what did I eat?
I would not know.
Why not?
Because we're different individuals. We're different individuals.
So therefore, okay. So you didn't know what Choratindora ate last night?
I didn't know.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
You two are different individuals.
Yes.
Simply because you are two different individuals doesn't mean you have to not know what the other person.
Right.
You're getting it?
Yeah.
So how do you know that there is the unconscious in the flower?
Because the eye consciousness saw the flower.
How do you know that? Which means you are saying the unconscious is there.
Yeah, you would know because you saw it.
No, this question is, which means in a way what you're saying is that I have the eye consciousness. You're getting it? How do you know that?
Because when I look at the flower, I see it.
How do you know that you have the eye consciousness?
Because I can see the flower.
This is what. How do you know that you are seeing it? With my eye consciousness, you can see that. This is what he said. So it should not be tautology.
There doesn't need to be another mind.
Why not?
If
If you do not require next mind, then do you also know what I ate yesterday?
You
don't really require mind to know that, right?
The next mind or the preceding mind, but you don't need a self-commenting mind.
This is not my. I did not say at all. This is your word. I didn't use it at all. You're getting it. You are the what is it? You're presupposing what I was thinking. It's not my thought. Yes, Pavani. Listen. What?
Because of the influence.
Okay, let's start from beginning.
Yeah.
What's in my hand?
Flower.
How do you know this flower?
Because of the eye consciousness.
I can don't say because of the eye consciousness, because I can see that with my eye consciousness.
Yeah.
How do you know you have the eye consciousness?
Because of my mind.
Mental consciousness. How do you know you have the mental consciousness?
That comes from the influence that I can see, the eye consciousness. So that's.
This is not my question. I'm not asking how you see. I'm asking how do you know that you have the mental consciousness to see the eye consciousness having seen the flower? The third one, not the second one. Third one. How do you
supposition.
Okay. So the yes.
There's a concept called self-cognizant mind.
Wow, this is amazing. From where?
University.
Nalanda University. From where is your teacher? Where? Yes. Okay. So why I'm saying this? Okay. So what it says here is that look. This says that say we suffer from chronic disease of believing in things as objective, real. Something should be real. And if we, in our mind, if there's a tendency that if there's nothing real, it is like you are thrown in the middle of the ocean where you feel totally I'm drowning. Whereas the moment you keep a little stick, you'll hold the stick. You agree? This is our psyche. This is how the mind works. We require something to hold on to. So therefore the Buddha taught that everything is like dream, but Buddha taught this in a very systematic way. But one point for Chittamata, Buddha said, yeah, you say there's nothing external. It's quite scary, but don't worry, you have the mind, we see them. Your mind is real. You're getting it? Now it's not just it is not sufficient to say that mind exists truly and nobody asks you. People can ask a question. How do you know that mind exists truly? This is a big debate. But in the Buddhist, the Chittamata philosophers and the Madhyamika philosophers, particularly Prasanga Madhyamika, how do you know that this mind existing truly? This is a question. So what they say is that, this is a very important point. So when I ask this question, how do you know that there's a flower there? The first is easy. My eye consciousness see that. Easy? How do you know the eye consciousness? Oh, somehow, somewhere inside I know it. You call it mental consciousness. How do you know the mental consciousness? Then you get stuck. Then you have no answer, means uneasiness comes. You don't want to stay in the uneasiness state. But you have to stay, you don't know the answer. So uneasiness comes. Raise hands. Uneasiness came. Good. Which means that you are thinking. You're getting it? Thinking. Now the next point is that when the Buddha taught nothing, all these external things which appears as external, they don't exist. Then it's very scary. It's also like you throw me into the middle of the ocean, nobody to hold on to. No, don't worry. There's a mind which exists truly. Mind sees everything as external, but this mind exists truly. Okay, they're happy. But then the Prasangic philosopher comes, they ask you, how do you know the mind exists truly? Then this girl, Sona Homogenea, what she said is that this mind exists truly because you don't require the next mind to prove it. You don't require the next mind to prove it, because if you go for next mind, then you end up into what is known as this is known as infinite regress. Infinite regress. Then which mind knows this mind? You keep like this, you get stuck. So therefore, Chittamattha would say that this mind exists truly because within the mind there is a provision, there is a facility inside the mind which allows you to know itself. So what is that? What is that? So say in the night, say you want to read books, suddenly there's a power cut, there's no light. There's no light. Then what happens? You light a candle. And the candle illuminates the book, right? So what illuminated the book? What illuminated the book? Nidya. The candlelight illuminated the book. You agree? Hey, presents. Okay. Candlelight illuminated the book. Not only that you are seeing the book, you are also seeing the candlelight. What illuminated candlelight? On its own. So the candlelight has two functions. One to illuminate outside, one to illuminate itself. You getting it? Candlelight has this power, this function to illuminate itself, to illuminate other things, and to illuminate itself. So the mind is like the candlelight. The mind has the ability to illuminate other things and also to illuminate itself. It does not require a second mind to illuminate itself, to illuminate this mind. You don't require that. It is a self-illumination. You're getting it? This is known as self-cognizant mind. This is known as self-cognizant mind. Okay. So now, this is a very important concept. And Lama Tsongkhapa here, whose statue is here, to your right side, he praised Chittamatra for coming up with the concept of the self-cognizant mind. Self-cognizant mind to establish that the mind exists truly. Okay, how many thus far you got? Minimum like 60%. Minimum 60%. How many got it? Minimum 60%. Pema, you got it? Not got it. Good. Okay. Okay, now, this is very important. Say, for Chittamatra, the philosophy rests on the concept that the mind exists truly. If they cannot explain how the mind exists truly, whole philosophy of Chittamatra is shattered. You getting it? This is very important. For me personally, I would say that when I was studying, so do my actual course on this, I just mimic this, I just study this. So logically at first, but it don't really hit my feelings. And at a later stage, after learning this, and then you finish the course and still getting back to these are of my interest. And after completing all these courses, still going back, studying, contemplating, then when I get a sense that this is a bedrock of the Chittamatra philosophy, that the mind exists truly and self-cognizant mind. Self-cognizant mind is a bedrock of Chittamatra philosophy. If this concept, self-cognizant mind, is proven to be wrong, whole philosophy of Chittamatra is shattered. You getting it? So this is so important concept. It's very important concept. So based on this, based on accepting the mind is truly existent, then they can explain the functionality, cause and effect, law of karma. They can explain law of karma. Otherwise, if even the mind, okay, external nothing exists, just the mind. If the mind doesn't exist truly, then everything becomes an imagination. You getting it? Everything becomes from imagination. If everything becomes from imagination, then imagination, there's no cause and effect. I can think that, okay, it's already 12:36, it's time for lunch. But imagine you already have lunch. Imagine you already have lunch. Now it's 2 o'clock. Imagine it's 3 o'clock. Okay, let's continue. You're going to get, and you say, yes, sir. You're going to get, yes, because it's pure imagination. Everything's imagination. Here, then the cause and effect becomes chaotic. Then you cannot explain the law of karma. If you cannot explain law of karma, then liberation cannot be explained. Nirvana can be explained. Buddha nature cannot be explained. Nothing can be explained. So this is and then you cannot say that I'm following the Buddha's teachings. Because Buddha taught law of karma, Buddha taught Buddha nature, and you have nothing to hold on to explain the law of karma or the Buddha nature. The Four Noble Truths cannot be explained. So therefore, Chitta Mantra, what is known as the self-cognizant mind. In Tibetan, Rangrig. In Tibetan, this is Rangrig, and in English, self-cognizant mind. I think in Sanskrit, it is Savasamvedana, is it? Savasamvedana. Okay, the Ladakhi translation is confirming that what I said is correct. Savasamvedana in Sanskrit, and in Tibetan is Rangrig, and in English, self-cognizant mind. So this is extremely important concept for Chitta Mantra, and the Prasangika rejected this. The moment it's rejected, and you fully feel that self-cognizant mind is not there. It's just the fabrication. It's just a fabrication by the Chitta Mantra philosophy. Then the Chitta Mantra philosophy becomes totally meaningless to you, and then you move to the Madhyamika philosophy. Okay, so where are we? 36. So if it is considered that without the body there is no consciousness, body and mind, body consciousness, these two are mutually dependent. There's mutually dependency. Dependency means there's no independent reality. There's no truly real consciousness. Then if this is the case, you must explain what is that awareness, what is that consciousness, what is that mind which you say as truly existent, what is that mind which you say is truly existent, and it is known by the self-cognizant mind. This is the object of one's own specific knowledge, own meaning, self. Self-cognizant mind. This is the object of the self-cognizant mind. How can you explain this? How can you explain this? You cannot explain this. 37. By calling it specific awareness of itself, you are asserting it to be an entity. By saying that my mind is known by itself, self-cognizant mind. By calling it specific awareness of itself, this consciousness, this mind is known by itself. What you are saying is that this mind exists truly. You are asserting it to be an entity. Entity meaning truly existent entity. Yet by stating it is this, you are asserting it also to be powerless. For example, let's say that the Joe Biden 2024 till June, till October was Joe Biden, and in 2024 November, then Trump took over, right? So how come that he is a president? Trump is a president because of the election, because of the vote election. Whose election? Elected by who? The people. People's body, people's mind. So people's mind said that you are the president, right? And the number is a majority, then you become the president. Which means that you become president is dependent on those people who said that you are the president, who cast vote for you. You agree? So you become president is because of dependence on the others. Okay. Congolese is just amazing. Just right, and it's just 12:40 sharp, and then he showed me the camera. Amazing. Okay, thank you. In a way, I'm saying something. Yes, the implication. In Tibet House, it's not sure. 45, 42, not sure. It's very flexible. What is very on the dot. Okay, so what was I saying? Okay, yes. So when you said that you are the president means, so majority of the people are saying you are the president. In a way, this is what they're saying. When they cast their vote for you, you are saying that you will be the president. So which means you being president is dependent on these people, yes? Okay, so when I said that this is the mind, this is the mind, label, the mind is dependent on the label. So which means this is not a truly absolute reality. It's dependent on the labeling mind. So it says that yet by stating it is this is mind, you are asserting it also to be powerless. Powerless meaning it is not independent. It's dependent on somebody pointing to you that this is the mind. So there's again we see the mutuality dependency. For example, let's say that okay. Okay, good. Okay, let's not digress too much. Okay, now it's a little easier. 38. Having ascertained oneself and to help others. Now, the enlightened ones, the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, what they do is that having ascertained the reality, emptiness of objectively oneself, and then help others to ascertain. Help others to ascertain. Ascertain meaning help others to know. The learned ones, like the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the learned proceeds excellently, always without error. Proceeds to guide others in this concept of emptiness, always without error. Okay. So here, how without error? Finally, the concept of emptiness is taught to you for you to get it away, get rid of your tears, get rid of your pains. So now, when the concept is taught, it should be taught in such a way that when the other person gets it, whoever gets it, the tears should start. You getting it? If the tears don't stop, sometimes tears can multiply. Then that is not the real concept of emptiness. You're getting it? So what should that concept of emptiness be? That should be understood as, the concept of emptiness should be understood as emptiness should not be nihilism. If it's nihilism, then what happens? What happens is that you disregard the law of karma because nothing exists. If you disregard law of karma, you tend to do negative karmas. When you do negative karmas, again you suffer. So therefore, this understanding, some people teaching emptiness as in a nihilist form, this will make you accumulate no more negative karmas, more tears to shed in the future. So it should be taught in such a way that the other's tears stop. How? So emptiness is to be taught not as a nihilism, not a nihilism, but should be taught as dependent origination. So we see that emptiness is dependent origins, which we learned already, that these two are the two sides of the same coin. These two mean the same. These two are the two sides of the same coin. You're getting it? Two sides of the same coin. Now, when you see emptiness, what's the benefit? The benefit is, look. When you see emptiness, right, what happens? Oh, this dream is empty of being real. What happens? All the fears in the dream stop. So, seeing the emptiness side, it will stop all the tears of samsara. It will stop all the tears of samsara. When you see dependent origination, emptiness and dependent origination, these two are the two sides of the same coin. When you see emptiness, all your destructive emotions which attracts miseries, tears subside. Then when you see other side, which is dependent origination, when you see dependent origination, it is like the tea strainer. How many of you use tea strainer? Raise hands in your life. Young people, they don't know what is tea strainer. Just get. You don't know what is tea strainer. You know. You use it. Are you sure? in physics lab? No, at home. What's the purpose of tea strainer? Tell me. Mike.
If you make tea, we use tea strainer to filter out the tea with the tea leaves, the powder one, which we don't want to drink.
Okay, then don't say that. She ordered the breakfast. No, I have not had breakfast because she ate it. Don't say that. What is tea strainer? Did you use tea strainer in life?
Yeah.
Are you sure? So look, I'm catching the right person who didn't use tea strainer. So I think so. I think so means I didn't use. Right? Okay, but you've seen your mother using it. What did you use that for? Mike. It doesn't matter. You don't ask her.
To remove the tea leaves out of the tea.
Perfect. This is it. Very good. Okay. So tea strainer does two things. As Chiskit and the Chungit, two of them said that it stops all the non-drinkable tea leaves, tea residues. It stops all the residual tea leaves. You agree? One, with emptiness, it stops all the undesirable negative emotions. It stops all the tears, the pains. It stops all these. And then it freely let flow. It freely let flow the drinkable tea. You getting it? Likewise, this emptiness and emptiness, it stops all the destructive emotions, and the understanding of dependent origination will freely let flow your virtues. How? By dependent origin, understand dependent origin, your compassion flows. Your compassion flows, your kindness flows, and all the good qualities flows. For example, like the patience, enthusiasm. All these good qualities flow by understanding dependent origin. By dependence on harming the other person, I suffer. By dependence on helping the other person, I'm happy. So I should benefit others. Benefit others is compassion. Your compassion grows. All the virtues grow by understanding dependent origination. All your negativity stop because of understanding emptiness. So these two are the two sides of the same coin. There's a benefit. If this is how you understand emptiness, then you are in the proper track. You're in the proper track. Okay. So this is what is 38. Having ascertained oneself and to help others ascertain. To having ascertained oneself what? Having ascertained the two truths, emptiness and dependent origination are the two sides of the same coin. To stop all your miseries and to expand your virtues. You understand yourself and explain this to others and help others ascertain. These are the learned people who proceed excellently, always without error. Okay, so we'll stop here. Pagye tuje shaye rizo chon shenge mito dege ponjomba serge lumbo tabo jebe ko shaye yebu chase lo mone mahamona yeswa mone mahamona yeswa mahamona yeswa mone Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahamunaya Swaha. Three precision together.